The night is deathly still. A lone samurai guard stands at his post, his breath curling in the cold air. Then, just for a second, he hears it. A whisper, a shift in the wind. His grip tightens on his sword, but before he can turn, darkness, a sharp, cold edge against his throat. His body crumples, lifeless, no battle cry, no struggle. This is the terror of the ninja. Not just warriors, but shadows made flesh. They didn't need brute strength. They wielded fear, deception, and the unknown. They were the ultimate ninja assassins. They could slip past guards unseen, poison a lord's tea without a trace, or infiltrate an entire castle disguised as a humble servant. Some say they could vanish into thin air, summon demons, or control the minds of their victims. Others whisper that those who crossed them were cursed, haunted by something they could never see until it was too late. But were the ninja truly men? Or were they something far darker? Something never meant to be uncovered. Tonight, we unveil one of history's greatest mysteries. We'll journey into the dark origins of the ninja, uncover their ruthless training, and expose the deadly secrets of ninjutsu that made them feared ninja killers. From legendary missions that shaped history to the mysterious fall of the ninja clans, we'll explore their haunting myths, cursed spirits, and forbidden techniques. And finally, we'll reveal their modern legacy, where their tactics still shape spies, special forces, and cyber warfare. Let us begin. Born in the dark, the secret origins of the ninja. The origins of the ninja, historically also called shinobi, are buried in secrecy, their true history erased like footprints vanishing in the wind. Unlike the samurai who sought honor in battle, the ninja were nameless ghosts. This ninja dark history speaks of warriors bound by silence, not glory, thriving in the shadows of war. Most say they emerged in Japan's bloody Sengoku period, 15th to 17th century. But older whispers tell of hidden clans mastering deception, poison, and silent death long before history took note. But where did they come from? Some say the first ninja were exiled warriors and rogue monks, forced to abandon honor to survive. Others claim they were something far more sinister, practitioners of forbidden rituals who traded their humanity for the power to move like smoke, kill without a sound, and vanish as if they had never existed at all. The isolated regions of Iga and Koga became breeding grounds for shadows, where entire generations were forged in darkness, trained to break minds before bodies. Their methods were ruthless. Over time, warlords whispered of warriors who could walk through walls, summon demons, or drive men to madness before ever drawing a blade. This was the dark side of ninja, where training bordered on the inhuman. They became something beyond assassins, something feared even by the most powerful rulers, their names spoken only in whispers, their presence felt only when it was too late. These clans perfected ninjutsu, mastering poisons that mimicked natural deaths, disguises that turned men into ghosts, and illusions so convincing they could drive an enemy mad. It is said that when a warlord sent samurai to exterminate a ninja, they walked into a nightmare, one where the trees had eyes, the shadows whispered, and the ground itself swallowed them whole. When the sun rose, there was nothing left but bloodstains in the dirt, and the unsettling feeling that the ninja had only allowed themselves to be seen for a moment, just long enough to let their prey realize. Too too late, that they had never stood a chance, but was being born into the shadows enough. To become a ninja meant enduring unbearable pain, losing your identity, and becoming the perfect killer. Only the strongest survived. But were they ever truly free? Forged in pain. The ruthless training of shinobi. Becoming a ninja was not a choice. It was a brutal transformation that erased weakness, emotion, and identity. From childhood, recruits were thrust into a merciless world where failure meant death. Many would become feared ninja murderers, trained to kill without hesitation and vanish before their presence was ever suspected. In the hidden strongholds of Iga and Koga, they learned to move without sound, endure agony without a scream, and kill with a flick of the wrist. Night after night, they bled onto jagged rocks, their bodies broken until pain became meaningless. They were drowned, not to die, but to learn how to silence fear. Their senses sharpened to inhuman levels. They could feel a guard's footsteps through the earth, hear whispers from across a courtyard, and smell poison before it reached their lips. They studied not just combat, but the art of the mind, psychological warfare, deception, and the power of fear. A true ninja did not just kill his enemy. He made his enemy doubt, hesitate, and crumble from within. By the time their training was complete, they had no past, no name, no self. They were shadows, nightmares given form, living ghosts with only one purpose: to obey, to kill, and to disappear as if they had never existed at all. By the end, there was no I, only the mission, only the kill, only the silence left in their wake. But their weapons weren't just blades and poisons. They mastered something far deadlier: the art of fear. What was their greatest secret? What did the ninja know that made them more terrifying than any samurai? If you're enjoying this deep dive into the darkest corners of ninja past, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It helps us bring you more hidden stories from the shadows of world's history. Now, let's uncover the deadly secrets of the ninja. The Way of the Shadow. Secrets of ninjas. The true secrets of the ninja were never written down, only passed through whispers from master to apprentice, ensuring their art remained a mystery to the outside world. These warriors did not just rely on stealth and blades. They mastered the unseen, wielding fear as a weapon sharper than any sword. Ninja mastered deception so completely that they could vanish in plain sight, using psychological tricks to make enemies believe they were everywhere and nowhere. Some say they possessed forbidden knowledge, crafting poisons that mimicked natural deaths or elixirs that slowed the heartbeat to a crawl, making it seem as though they had died, only to awaken hours later. Legends claim they could walk on water, climb walls with ease, or summon flames. But were these supernatural abilities, or just secrets lost to time? Perhaps the greatest trick the ninja ever played was convincing the world they never existed at all. The ninja's deadliest weapon wasn't their sword, poison, or even invisibility. It was fear. Masters of deception, they could turn entire castles against themselves without ever stepping inside, planting false letters, manipulating spies, and driving warlords into paranoia. A well-trained shinobi could vanish into a crowd, slip through enemy lines undetected, and strike in the dead of night, leaving behind only confusion and dread. Using the terrain, weather, and even fire, they made enemies see phantoms where none existed. But the greatest ninja never needed to fight at all. By the time their prey realized they were being hunted, it was already too late. Unlike the samurai, who wielded their swords with honor, the ninja's weapons were meant for efficiency, silence, and terror. The katana was rare in their arsenal, too long, too cumbersome. Instead, they carried shorter swords, ninjato, ideal for close-quarters combat and quick assassinations. They perfected the use of shuriken, not as killing tools, but as distractions. Small, sharp flashes of steel designed to confuse and disorient. But their true deadliness lay in the unconventional. Poisons that paralyzed, spike traps that crippled, smoke bombs that blinded, and clawed gloves, shuko, that could shred a throat in a single motion. Some carried hollowed eggs filled with blinding powders, while others laced their blades with toxins so lethal that a single scratch meant death. Every tool was designed for survival. Every weapon a whisper of death, because the ninja did not fight fair. They fought to win. The ninja's most lethal skill was their ability to break the mind. Fear was their true weapon, sharpened to perfection. They left cryptic symbols in blood, sent false letters to turn allies against each other, and staged hauntings with eerie sounds and flickering lights, convincing their targets that ghosts were stalking them. Castles built to withstand armies crumbled from within as paranoia took hold. When needed, ninja slipped past defenses, scaling walls, creeping through tunnels, and striking without a trace, poisoning lords, setting fires, or stealing secrets that could collapse entire war efforts. Some entered disguised as servants, musicians, or entertainers, earning their target's trust before striking at the perfect moment. Others set traps, loosened floorboards, or tampered with armor and weapons, ensuring that when the time came for battle, the enemy would be fighting against themselves. Where an army needed swords and bloodshed, the ninja needed only patience. By the time they left, the castle was already falling apart, its people broken, its walls doomed to crumble, not by war, but by whispers in the dark. And yet, whispers weren't always enough. Some missions required more than fear. Some called for blood. These are the ninja's deadliest missions, where history itself was rewritten in the shadows. Ghosts of War, ninja missions that changed history. Throughout history, ninja were not just assassins. They were master manipulators of war, espionage, and sabotage, altering the course of Japan's most pivotal conflicts. This is the ninja assassin history, where silent operatives changed the fate of nations. One of their most famous missions involved the betrayal at Honnoji in 1582, where Oda Nobunaga, one of Japan's most powerful warlords, was cornered by his own general, Akechi Mitsuhide. Though historical records credit Mitsuhide with the coup, some believe ninja agents were involved, infiltrating the temple where Nobunaga was trapped, ensuring no escape, and possibly setting the fires that forced him to commit seppuku. A few years later, Hattori Hanzo, one of the most legendary ninja leaders, orchestrated the daring rescue of Tokugawa Ieyasu, guiding him across enemy territory after Nobunaga's death. Without this mission, Tokugawa might never have risen to unify Japan and establish the shogunate that ruled for over 250 years. The Japan ninja were also instrumental in large-scale warfare, using their stealth and deception to dismantle enemy strongholds from within. During the siege of Osaka, 1614 to 1615, ninja infiltrated Osaka Castle, setting fires, spreading misinformation, and disrupting enemy supply lines, weakening Toyotomi Hideyoshi's forces before the final attack. In another covert operation, they helped orchestrate the fall of the Takeda clan, planting false intelligence that lured Takeda warriors into deadly ambushes. Not every mission ended in success. The attempted assassination of Uesugi Kenshin by a ninja disguised as a servant ended in failure when the warlord survived the attack. However, the longest-running ninja war was fought in the shadows, as ninja clans engaged in counterintelligence battles against samurai forces, with spies, double agents, and misinformation shaping the tides of war. Though history often forgets them, these missions prove that the ninja were not just fighters. They were architects of power, rewriting Japan's history from the darkness. But power never lasts forever. The ninja ruled the shadows until the world changed. When the samurai turned against them, when peace returned to Japan, did the ninja truly vanish? Or did they find new ways to survive? The vanishing shadows, the fall of the ninja clans. As Japan unified under the Tokugawa shogunate in 1603, the chaos that once fueled the ninjas' rise began to fade. Feared for their unpredictability, they became targets of government crackdowns, with strict laws forcing many into obscurity. Samurai, once both their employers and enemies, now upheld the regime, leaving little room for those who thrived in the shadows. Some ninja clans vanished, their skills fading into legend, while others adapted, hiding in plain sight as mercenaries, bodyguards, or covert agents for the very government that once sought to erase them. A few historical figures claimed to be the last of the ninja, but were they true shinobi, or merely men who wanted the world to believe the shadows had faded? The names of the great ninja families, Hattori, Fujibayashi, Momochi, became relics of the past, their once feared arts reduced to whispers of an era long gone. But could it be possible that some still walk among us, their secrets locked away from modern eyes? Though the era of ninja assassins has passed, their skills may have simply evolved. Modern spies, special forces, and black ops units still use stealth, deception, and psychological warfare, tactics eerily similar to the shinobi. Some former military operatives in Japan even claim to have trained in adapted ninja techniques. The warriors of the past may be gone, but their philosophy, moving unseen, striking without warning, and controlling the battlefield from the shadows, may still shape the world in ways we can't see. But not all ninja disappeared. Some say their spirits remain, haunting the castles they once infiltrated, seeking revenge on those who betrayed them. Are the ninja truly gone, or are they still watching from the darkness? Legends of the cursed, ninja myths and hauntings, The dark history of ninjas is filled with tales of mystery, terror, and the supernatural. To their enemies, they were more than assassins. They were ghosts, demons, and shadows that could not be stopped. Stories of their unnatural abilities, deadly curses, and vengeful spirits have endured for centuries, blurring the line between history and myth. Some say these tales were clever deceptions, psychological warfare designed to make enemies surrender before a fight even began. But others believe the legends hold a darker truth, one that refuses to die. These are the 5 most terrifying ninja legends ever told. The Demon Shinobi of Iga. Deep in the forests of Iga, warriors whispered of a shinobi who could not be killed. Arrows shattered against his skin, swords failed to wound him, and no matter how many times he was struck down, he always returned. Some said he had made a blood pact with dark forces, trading his soul for immortality. Others believed he had mastered forbidden techniques that made his body invincible to mortal weapons. Lords sent entire squads to hunt him, but none ever returned. Even today, villagers claim to see a shadow darting between trees, moving faster than the eye can follow. They say he is still out there, waiting for his next prey. The Phantom Ninja of Edo Castle. One night, a shinobi infiltrated Edo Castle, tasked with assassinating a powerful warlord. But something went wrong. He was captured, tortured, and executed. His body was burned, his ashes scattered to ensure he would never return. But then, the disturbances began. Guards reported seeing his shadow moving along the walls, hearing whispers in the empty halls, and feeling an unseen presence breathing down their necks. Some claimed to see his spectral form standing at the castle gates, vanishing the moment they blinked. The Lord, gripped by terror, ordered priests to purify the grounds, but the hauntings never stopped. Even now, on certain nights, his phantom is said to roam Edo Castle, forever completing a mission he failed to finish. The Tengu's ninja disciples. Legends speak of a secret ninja school hidden in the deepest forests, where human masters were not the ones who trained their students. The Tengu were. These supernatural, bird-like creatures of Japanese folklore were said to teach only the most gifted shinobi, granting them abilities that defied nature. It was said that those trained by the Tengu could leap between trees without disturbing a single leaf, summon winds to cloak their movements, and strike with blinding speed. Some warlords swore they had fought ninja who vanished into thin air, moved faster than a sword strike, or dodged arrows as if they knew they were coming. Were these shinobi just exceptionally skilled, or had they truly learned from creatures beyond this world? The shadow that killed without touching. He was the ninja who never needed a blade. His weapon was fear itself. This shinobi did not attack his victims directly. Instead, he would plant a single idea into their minds. A false betrayal, a whispered curse, or a vision so terrifying it would unravel them from the inside. His enemies, gripped by paranoia, would turn on each other, suffer mysterious illnesses, or even take their own lives in madness. Some claimed he had mastered an ancient technique that let him invade dreams, creating nightmares so real they bled into waking life. He could kill from across a battlefield without ever stepping into the fight. No one ever saw him coming, because he was never truly there. The cursed clan that defied death. A warlord once sought to exterminate an entire ninja clan, burning their village to the ground and slaughtering every last shinobi. Their bodies were left in the ashes, but something remained. Days after the massacre, his men began disappearing one by one. Some vanished in their sleep. Others were found with their throats slit, yet no one had seen an intruder. Those who survived claimed to hear whispers in the wind, feel unseen hands brush against them, and wake up to blood-stained footprints leading into the night. The warlord himself was found dead in his chambers, his face frozen in terror, with no wound to be seen. Some say the ninja cursed their killers before dying, ensuring that even in death they would have their revenge. But what if the ninja never left at all? What if they walk among us today, unseen, unheard, still controlling the shadows in ways we can't even imagine? The story of the ninja is far from over. Modern Shadows. The ninja's legacy in warfare and espionage. The ninja's influence on modern warfare is undeniable. Their tactics of psychological manipulation, stealth, and deception are still used by elite military units, intelligence agencies, and covert operatives worldwide. The legacy of the ninja's history lives on, not in open combat, but in espionage, cyber warfare, and intelligence operations. Even today's special forces train in methods eerily similar to the shinobi. Silent movement, unconventional weapons, and deception-based warfare. Though they may have vanished from history books, some believe the ninja never truly disappeared. Could their descendants be modern spies, hackers, or covert operatives, adapting their ancient skills to a digital battlefield? Some families are rumored to have secretly passed down their knowledge, while others speculate that ninja techniques were absorbed into intelligence agencies, government black ops, and private security firms. If they still exist today, manipulating events from the shadows, how would we ever know? In pop culture, the myth of the ninja has evolved far beyond reality, turning them into superhuman assassins. While real ninja relied on stealth and disguise, movies, anime, and video games have reimagined them as black-clad warriors performing impossible feats. Though exaggerated, these portrayals keep the ninja's fearsome mystique alive, ensuring that whether in history or legend, they remain creatures of the shadows. But myths and reality are never as far apart as we think. The ninja existed on the edge of history and legend. And maybe, just maybe, they still do. Echoes of the shinobi, the ninja existed on the edge of myth and reality. Warriors who seemed to defy human limits. Were they simply masters of deception, or did they possess forbidden knowledge that made them more than men? Their skills in stealth, psychological warfare, and assassination were unmatched. But were the stories of their supernatural abilities vanishing into thin air, walking on water, rooted in truth? Or was their greatest weapon always fear itself? Did the ninja truly disappear, or have their techniques survived in the shadows, adapted by spies, elite soldiers, and covert operatives? Are their secrets still passed down in hidden circles, or have they become ghosts of history? Tell us your theories in the comments. History is full of unsettling mysteries, forgotten assassins, and truths darker than fiction. Subscribe to our channel and step into the shadows with us, where some secrets refuse to stay buried. But beware, once you see the truth, there's no turning back. Good night, and see you soon.